This is it, guys. It's time to say goodbye. Goodbye to a trusty old slave that has gotten me through a lot of things. And I've been through a lot with it. This guy, Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. So I've had this device for quite a long time now, and it's time I say goodbye to it. Well, you might be wondering, why am I saying goodbye to it? So I've decided to upgrade this phone. So this phone will be no more in use by me. I will be giving it to someone else. So what did I upgrade to? Well, that's for another video. You'll see when that video gets published. But I'm really gonna miss this. What I really like about it, well, as you can see, I've got this in a boring black color. Of course, the Aura Glow and Aura Glow look much better than this. This color just looks a bit boring, kind of, but it's kind of nice. But what I like about this device, and I'm going to miss the most, is, well, this device still feels like a modern Samsung flagship phone. And you look at it design-wise, of course the S25 Ultra is different, but S24 Ultra is also more boxy. But from the S23 Ultra, kind of similar in the Renaissance, the boxy look. Only thing, the curved edges were toned down in the newer versions, but still kind of feels flagship. What I like about it is these curved edges. They look so clean, nice. I know many people don't like it because it doesn't sit well on their palms and accidental touches, but I always liked it and had no problem with that. Of course, another thing I liked about it, as you can see, mine still has this plastic on it. This was the original Samsung. No more do this with their newer phones, having this that plastic on top of the screen, like a screen protector basically. I've had that since it's been on this phone since brand new, so I still got that, which is nice to see. My phone still looks relatively new too. It's been handled well because it's always been in a case. Of course, my case is in a bit of a state. It's a flip case, which I'm not a fan of flip cases, but the reason why it's in a flip case is it's better for protection of the phone. And yeah, it's been on this flip case, which is on its last legs basically. But yeah, that's the case. As you can see, my phone still looks good. The camera module over here, as you can see, I like this design. Look clean on this Note compared to newer designs. It still looks nice. I mean, I still prefer the design of the Note 20 Ultra over this design, but yeah, this looks nice, clean, flat, not as big as the newer rings and newer modules. So when you place it flat on a surface, it sits okay and it doesn't really like rattle. That's nice. Okay, so let's talk about what I'm going to miss a lot about this one. As I said, the design feels comfortable, light to use. Another thing I will miss, that this has an SD card slot, which the newer Samsungs don't have. So expandable storage was really nice to have. So from 256 can be increased to 1 terabyte just by putting an SD card. Well, I'm going to miss that. But did I really use it? I used the SD card, yes, I did. So I will definitely miss that. It wasn't like I used it all the time, like, because I used to free up space on my phone. And 256 was more than enough for me here on this device. And then what else would I miss on this device? Well, the cameras are still okay quality. I mean, it's 2025 and you still can get decent pictures out of the shooter. Just look at some samples I took with this. With this camera, and I could still record 4K 60 video from this camera, front and back, which is still flagship. I mean, it still flies through. This phone still flies through opening and closing apps. Just flies through quickly. everything just works so seamlessly, and I will miss that really. Of course, the newer phones are slightly faster, better performance, and of course, this phone does not get newer versions of Android, so you will be getting newer versions of Android and new AI features on the new Samsung phone compared to this device. But this device is still premium. It feels premium. It performs like a premium device still. And that's saying this device is already like gonna be 6 years old this year, so, and still performing well. I remember the old flagships. If you had a 6-year-old flagship, say a 2013 flagship, now it's 2019, that phone would have been really slow, and you'd be like, it's loading. These phones are still great 6 years down the line. Still great. It's so unfortunate that Samsung never gave them newer versions of software updates. Like Apple, iPhone 10s, 10s Max, 10R are still getting the latest versions of iOS 18. And well, this flagship device, which released a year after that, only got 3 major versions, which is a shame. But it still performs well, and still can run all the apps, day-to-day tasks, everything you do. Great. What you don't get, like, compared to newer Samsungs, is the Google feed when you swipe to the left. That, of course, came in from the S21 series, and that was a great, nice feature to have, which you don't have here. You have Samsung Free, which I don't really, not a fan of. But other than that, great device. And I mean, stylus, of course, the newer S25 Ultra don't even have the Bluetooth stylus, and this was the first stylus to have edges to control the camera and do like a magic wand. So this was the first one to do it, and of course, you no more get that the newer S25 Ultra. But I like it where you can just write on the screen, make a quick note. It's really nice. I mean, I really like it. The stylus feels nice in the hand too. It's a nice clicky button. So yeah, that's great. This phone has battery life. And battery life is still impressive for a phone like this. I mean, it's 6 years old, but it can still last on a normal day-to-day usage. It can last through a day. I mean, if you're a heavy user, it's not going to last the whole day. But if you're a light user, it will last you. The heavy user, it should last you half the day, 3/4 day, depending on how heavy you use the phone. But it can, I'm surprised, this phone can do a lot of intensive tasks and works really well. So that's something nice about this phone. The way it feels too, it's like, I know they released the S25 Edge now, that new phone, that's thin phone and all, but you can't compare this phone thickness. You can't even see the thickness here. And I watched a YouTube video where someone compared it to a Note 9. Note 9 was slightly thicker than this. This is much thinner and feels so nice and comfortable to hold in the hands. The under display fingerprint scanner, it works really well. The front facing camera too is it's a bit larger than the newer phones, but this is like all screen display. Just look at this, it still looks good. Of course, there's a bit of chin here, but other than that, it still looks fantastic, and it's still a great device. Of course, there's certain tasks that I did require a newer device. That's why I'm upgrading, because I required certain new AI features and stuff for my day-to-day usage. That's why I upgraded. One of the main things I upgraded was for the AI, the better cameras on the newer phones, and just about almost just about the battery life was there. Of course, I had no issue with this battery life, but you're getting better battery life, and some newer features. That's why I upgraded. Otherwise, I wouldn't have still kept this device. It was those AI features that really made me say, you know what, I have to upgrade, and that's why I did the jump. I did the jump to upgrading to a newer phone. Other than that, this is still a great device, and I'm gonna miss this device. Been through a lot. We've been through a lot of stuff together, and yeah, let's see. We've been through 3,000, if you can see there, 3,093 photos, which is a kind of a lot. 2,403 screenshots. Don't ask me how I'm screenshotting. I just screenshot whatever. I mean, from quotes to anything. I'm always like screenshotting a lot of stuff. So whenever I see a nice quote or something or a nice message, I like to screenshot and take it with me. So yeah. Also look at that Canva design 600 and I'm not sure if you can see that. Canva 617. So that's a lot. This phone has been through quite a bit. It used to be my main daily phone. There was a time it was my main daily driver as a phone. And yeah, it got me through. And I just love this device. It just feels nice in the hands. I mean, it's really a great device. Of course, the color is a bit boring, but you get used to it. And when it's in a case, you don't really notice the colors. And mine, I've kept it like, try to keep it as really nice and new as possible, because I like to look after my devices. That's one thing. Always when I get a device, I have to make sure I get a case. Even if it's not the fanciest of cases and a nice looking case, I get a case just to protect the device, because you have to protect your device. Otherwise, you need to be having a cracked screen or a cracked back or marks on the sides here, which I don't really like. I want a clean device, it has no scratches. I like to keep the device like that, keep it like brand new, like a collector, like a car. Basically, you don't want any scratches on your car. Just like that, your phone is a precious priority and you protect it like that. So that's my time talking about this device, my last time going to be using this device, and I'm gonna miss it. And I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and until next time, this is Candy Bar signing out.